Dean, Faculty of Homeopathy, Parul University, and Principal of Jawaharlal Nehru Homeopathic Medical College. Let me bring you all in the great journey of webinars organized by Faculty of Homeopathy, Parul University. The vibrant environment of Parul University and constant motivation of our dynamic president, Dr. Devanshu Patel, as well as Dr. Komal Patel, madam. She is a director of Paramedical and Medical Institutes of Parul University, who are always encouraging us to move ahead and ahead. The 16 diverse faculty at Parul University are regularly conducting the webinars by experts of their own fields. The Faculty of Homeopathy is equally contributing in the same drive. I am glad to share with you that till today we could organize 10 successful webinars and now coming to you with the 11th one. At this point, let me share you the feedback of audience viewing our webinars. I am glad to share you that on an average, we could found almost more than 1200 viewers in each webinars organized by our team. This is really boosting gestures to us. We could prove ourselves success by arranging diverse experts in the field of homeopathy on a single platform. And take this message, we are committed to serve the best in our expedition. Hope the support of you guys remains with us throughout our journey. This is the Herculean task, and it is only accomplished because of our 4 competent leaders, the HOIs of 4 constituent colleges of Parul University. Let me introduce the first team member of us, that is Dr. BP Panda, to introduce our today's speaker. Dr. BP Panda sir is a principal of Parul Institute of Homeopathy and Research, is a professor in Department of Organon of Medicine, member of Board of Study Parul University, member of NAC Peer Review Committee, and ex-VOS member of Saurashtra University Rajkot. So let me over to BP Panda sir.
I can't hear Panda sir.
Panda sir, you are on mute mode.
Your mic is mute. I can't hear you, sir. Unmute your mic.
Thank you, Dr. Purab Desai sir, Dean of Faculty of Homeopathy, Parul University. I feel great pleasure and proud to welcome and introduce in brief our today's guest speaker, Dr. Parth Pratim Rai, sir, on behalf of Faculty of Homeopathy, Parul University. I also welcome all the viewers, technical staff, colleagues, and the management of Parul University, our visionary president, Dr. Devanshu Patel sir, Director Komal madam, for giving us opportunity to conduct such webinar series. I welcome all my colleagues, Dr. Purab Desai, Dr. Hina Rawal madam, Dr. Hitat Mehta sir, for being with me. At present, Dr. Parth Pratim Rai, sir, holding the post of Professor, Department of Organon of Medicine and Homeopathic Philosophy, Sri Bhagavan Homeopathic Medical College, Aurangabad. He is member of Board of Studies, Maharashtra University of Health Science, Paraclinical, Nasik. He has completed his MD Homeopathy, MSc Applied Psychology, PG Diploma in Guidance and Counseling, undergoing PhD in Organon of Medicine and Homeopathic Philosophy. In the title, Application of Myers-Briggs Type Indicator in Understanding the Personality Profile of Patients and its application in the management of stress, a randomized controlled trial. He is author of 2 books, Applied Materia Medica with Dr. J.D. Patil sir and Homeopathy from Principle to Practice. He has written so many articles out of that, Philosophical Basis of Homeopathy, a comprehensive study based on Chapter 3, Schools of Philosophy of Swartloth, National Journal of Homeopathy. The Potency, Paradox in Homeopathy, International Journal of Medical Science, Holistic Philosophy and Holism in Homeopathy, International Journal of Homeopathic Science, Theory of Vital Force, the Acceptance and Dental in Similimab, then Study of Materia Medica from the source books, that is again in Similimab, then Paracelsus and homeopathy again in Similimum, and he has having his own YouTube channel, that is Dr. Ray's Homeopathy. He has research person in ROTP, Organon of Medicine, NIH, Kolkata, PG teaching module, Maharashtra University of Health Science, Nasik and others. So I am happy to invite and welcome our speaker, and I hope all the viewers and everybody will enjoy it, and I am very much thankful for timely arrangement of all the technical supports by our technical teams and our management. Now I would like to request our guest professor Pratim Rai sir to start in the topic applied organon and integrated study. Over to Dr. Pratim Rai.
Thank you so much, sir. So just a moment.
Yes.
Yes. So no problem, no, sir. I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. So when I got the invitation from this so much acclaimed and respected university and homeopathic medical college under Parul University, because when we think and when we listen something, the people are doing some meticulous and fantastic job. For the sake of homeopathy, the name of Parul University comes repeatedly before us. So that time, one thing that I was suggested by Principal Sir, because he is from the same faculty, that is Organon. He says something in Organon that can be the applied part of it. And because he said most of the people attending this seminar, they are interns and they are the practitioners, even the faculty. So not to be very bookish on telling this thing. So this endeavor I have taken, that how we can really apply the concept of organon in a homeopathic practice. So I want to thank a lot for the organizers to give me the opportunity to talk before this august audience. So not wasting time, I am directly entering to the topic, applied organon and integrated study. Now what is this integration? So that will be coming later. So what is organon? Because I am not going any bookish word. So it is the extract of experience, understanding, convincing and ripened philosophical paramount. It is ripened philosophical paramount of Harriman's life. Because when organon was written, he was of 55 years of age. So try to understand, during this time, in 55 years, people takes a voluntary retirement. So that time he is writing a book titled Organon. The name of the book was Organon der Rationale Heilkunde. This is actually the front page of the first edition of Organon. It is a real German edition. So this is the first page. And there you will see this Gillard poem, etc. Here you must be saying that I have written 2 years, that is 55 and /50. The contention of writing 50 is because Organon was written before the Organon der Rationale Heilkunde was published. We all know this thing. This is in the year published 1805. Some says it is January of 1806. So 3 of the pillars of homeopathic education, one was the fragmentative derivation, second was the Asclepius and balance, and third was this medicine of experience. And this medicine of experience, what was a long article that was paragraphed and got a new shape in the year 1810. So I have written both. Because this thing there was in Hahnemann, that he didn't have introduced anything haphazardly. There was a preparation for that. But today I am not going to, we are not going to think or work on that. Now this is the outcome of ideological crisis. This we have to understand. Because when a person, a voracious reader like Hahnemann, a master of almost 14 languages, 12 languages, he used to speak. So with this, as Bedford wrote, he is a philologist, that means a person who knows the languages. Now, when he writes a book at his ripening age, so that is nothing but extract of his life's principle. So this is the ideological crisis. What was the ideological crisis? That what is getting done with the patient is not good. Now, very importantly, I want to make the comment on this fourth line, that is most meticulous. I am using the word most meticulous, maximally changed and maximally self-criticized article. What he wrote in his time. Maximally changed. Because so much of change was not done by Hahnemann apart from Organon that we all know. And it is maximally self-criticized. Because we have got several faces of Hahnemann. One Hahnemann who knows similia similibus, but he was not very sure about the word current. Because in medicine of experience, it's just put in a paragraph. If we study Organon first edition, so there in the Organon first edition, this same thing is written in the introduction. This is the preface. I'm sorry, it is not even introduction. There is no 26th aphorism. और एक Hahnemann जिनको बाकी सब कुछ मालूम है लेकिन potentization मालूम नहीं. Another Hahnemann who knows potentization but he doesn't know vital force. Another Hahnemann, we know a person who knows vital force but he doesn't know the 50 millisievert potency. We know another person who knows now 50 millisievert potency and vital force turning to be vital principle. So several phases of Hahnemann. We know a raw Hahnemann to a mature Hahnemann. We know a beginner practitioner of that day's allopathy and turning and coming out with his new mode of therapy. So it is self-criticized, and I'm still sticking on the word article. Now it is uniquely presented, not frequent to the eyes of modern readers. Means we, the people, didn't have seen such kind of a book. And where in that book, the peculiar thing that is, the aphorisms or the numbering is mentioned. Because Hahnemann was much motivated by Hippocratic work, aphorisms of Hippocrates. He was much more motivated by the critique of pure reasons by Immanuel Kant, faculty. And he was much motivated by the logicking method, the Novum Organon. All these books were written in aphorisms. So that might be one reason that Hahnemann wrote this article fragmented into aphorisms. Because this was an old style of writing. If we say the dramas of Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, so we will get the number. But the numbers are not at the beginning, but these are at the end. So the religious books, even in Bible, even in Al-Quran, even in the Gita, so we will get the aphorisms. But they are numbered at the end, but numbered not at the beginning. And this is almost complete work, though not out of controversies, because regarding the 6th edition translation and the written material, the people claims the many thing was done by Bellini de Haverly, but we understood it's not a correct thing that is being told, because we have seen the original handwriting of Hahnemann. So when we talk of applied, what is an organ? It's a long article. I'm sticking again the word article. Article in paragraphs with numbers. And it speaks about the fundamental rules of homeopathy. It has got 3 parts. Any interested reader can see this thing. There is a preface. There is introduction. Preface means there are 5 prefaces consecutive. Introduction. We rarely read introduction because in the publication that is made by B. Join, so they have really smashed the introduction. I'm open to tell. Because this introduction has got several sections. If you open the book of Wesselsoft, there you will get the 7 sections are mentioned, maintained. And nevertheless, this speaks about 7 different things, and it has got 99 paragraphs if you can't. Because that thing is on preface. A fantastic thing, introduction, I'm sorry. There is preface, 6 prefaces, 5 prefaces, I should say. And there is the text proper where we are getting doctrine, that is the theories, that is the policies. Policies means what is to be done. And second part is the practical, that is applied or allied part. That means what and how it is to be done. Now, applied aspect. Now, it is said, even the masters, that I am proud to be their student. Dr. Mahendra Singh, Dr. R.R. Juadar in our NI's days. So these people used to come and speak on organon. Because of our immaturity, we failed to understand that time what they actually mean to say. And I want to take 2 minutes from you people, 1 minute at least, why we have chosen the topic of organon, integrated study. That means if you ask what the chapter been taught by Dr. Alam Khan, by Dr. Mahendra Singh, though we have got him very less, by Dr. Odhikari, in your organon, or what the particular drug was taken by Dr. Dubey sir, or even Dr. Sunil Bal Sarkar, or Dr. S.K. Bhattacharya, they may be renowned physicians, renowned doctors, renowned teachers. So I will not be able to tell you now what actually they taught. But I can affirm you, they taught homeopathy. They teach to homeopathy. So that means this segmentation of teaching organon, mathematical repertory, and what I am going to include today, the applied practice of medicine and the branches of practice of medicine, cannot be desegmented. The study of homeopathy, someone is missing. I am a teacher of organon, so I know organon only. I am a teacher of mathematics, so let's study of organon. The basic problem starts, we are failing to integrate in a singular case how the concept of mathematics, organon, repertory, and practice of medicine can be imposed. So that time the people said, organon is nothing but the explanation of aphorism number 3. That time we couldn't understand, but after a process of teaching for several years, I felt what they had told, that is very correct. So it is in the whole length. Aphorism 291, that is for 6th, and aphorism 293, that is of the 5th edition, translated by Dudgeon. So this third aphorism is my interest of today's seminar, today's speaking or sharing experiences. Now this aphorism begins, if the physician clearly perceives what is to be cured in the diseases, that is to say, every individual case of the disease, and bracket knowledge of the disease's indications. And if he knows what to be practiced in medicine, I'm not going to read it out because this is not for the teaching faculty only, this is for the practitioners. So now if we dig, we are getting 2 definite aspects. One, the general understanding of the disease. What is a general understanding? That means the signs and symptoms of the disease, the causes of the disease, the complication of the disease, and the management of the disease. We have started with signs and symptoms because patient comes with signs and symptoms. We are there to find the cause. That may be a genetic cause, that may be a psychosyphilitic cause. Whatever, this interminglance and common sharing platform is highly essential. And here we are getting a second aspect, that is the classification of the disease. Here, unchanging Hahnemann. In our practical experience, we see that diseases are 4 before us. One is surgical, second is acute, means purely acute. Third is the acute exacerbation, very important area that we encounter in our practice. A person who is taking constitutional treatment, for example, for bronchial asthma, when comes with an attack of acute asthma, what is to be done? That is acute exacerbation. Because it looks like acute, but it is not acute. So it needs tremendous input from the physician side that the case can be really broken. And there is a chronic disease. And I feel homeopathy acts better than any other therapy in acute diseases, but the choosing of the medicine, the potency and the doses should be similar. And it is not possible on sitting on home and reading one Mathematica. This takes a lot of exertion from the side of the practitioner. Second part of this knowledge is behavior of the disease in the individual, how the person is coping with the disease. Miss, I have got malaria and I am coping with malaria. So how I am coping? So this is described in aphorism 82 to 104. That means this is what we call case receiving today. So the first structure, if you see the syllabus formulation, so that we read anatomy, physiology, we read pathology, we read community forensic medicine, obstetrics and gynecology, surgery, and overall practice of medicine. This gives some idea regarding the general understanding of the disease. What I said, signs, symptom, the causes, the complication, the management. And second part, that is the behavior of the disease in the individual. So that's what we call case receiving. So these are two very integral parts. So aphorism 3 is getting described in the very initiation of the practical or the application part, or what we call the practical part of life. Now let us see. So what will be the working hypothesis? First thing, understanding the disease and matching the disease in the hand and the disease in the books. The books are again two then. One book, allied science. Another book, our methodology. There should be a duty of a physician to search the disease from the symptoms. I'll come shortly after. Second part, understanding the miasm and this phase of the miasm. Highly important thing. And how it is there hidden in Materia Medica, that I will try to show. Understanding the expressive totality, very important area, what to do, what I am expecting from this case. If, for example, I will work with an acute totality or I will work with a chronic totality. Whether the case is acute exacerbation or the case is truly acute or it is fantastically chronic. Because your organ, the more is written in footnotes and less in aphorisms, it is the truth. Because if you count the pages with the same font size, you will see the footnote is not less than the pages covered by the aphorisms. And rarely we study the footnotes. There Hahnemann speaks more better than the aphorisms. It is fantastic. So understanding the expressive totality, what I want to do, conversion of the rubric, repertorization, judging the susceptibility, final selection, advices and follow-ups. So this is the process by which a case is actually dealt with. But here I am today, focusing on disease in hand and disease in books, the miasm phase, and try to explain understanding the expressive totality and what is a really very important aspect of a study. So, understanding the disease. Now, what it includes, how I can know a disease. So, first part is the general, second part in the particular. So, first part in general. Number one, we should learn the common symptoms and signs of the disease. This is all we know. Uncommon, peculiar, queer, strange symptoms, we all know. Aphorism 153. But what is peculiar, uncommon, and queer, strange symptoms? Because in our times, when we used to study in chelidonium, there is a typical pain that is the inferior angle of the right scapulae. हमको लगता था ये अनकॉमन पिक्यूलियर है शायद. आगे चल के जब हम pathologists, when we understood the pathology of what chelidonium actually does, that time we found there is a remedy, or this is a remedy for enlargement of liver or the liver complaints. When liver enlarge, may it push the diaphragm, and when it pushes the diaphragm upward, so quite naturally this may irritate the nerves, and that can really produce a pain in the right inferior angle of the scapula. So that means what was uncommon, peculiar, queer, now it turning to be a common symptom. So on stage and in the student to tell these are uncommon, peculiar, that is not and never a fixed entity, because with increasing knowledge of Materia Medica, practice of medicine, pathology and other things, this knowledge or the number of uncommon, peculiar, queer may be less. Because that symptom is uncommon, what is not common. So I have to learn what is common. Number two, these symptoms give the idea, bleeding, which symptom is to be palliated. Now this is very important thing. I will share a small case. Because during that time, we were the fourth year students of NIH. So that time we had seen the Volkswagen cars. So I'm talking of 1996, 95. So that time or before, the Volkswagen car was something that was imported. So now it is very available. And it had got most probably opposite side and drive. Because that came from Germany. I don't know detail of that. So one person came with Volkswagen with one of our very senior physician. And we used not to go to this man because he used to come with dhoti and like this. Don't take it otherwise. मैं आज भी माफी मांगता हूं उनसे. Because that time we were the third batch of NIH and we used to think ourselves to be the master of this mathematical organ like that. So that time the person came with this car, attracted me to go to the physician and to know what the case is. So it was a case of a carcinoma cervix. And I was offered by our respected sir, hey, whether you want to go with me to see the case. In our times, case देखने के लिए हम जहन्नुम में भी जाने को तैयार थे, शायद आज भी है. So that time we seated on the car, we had gone. It is some place inside of a Calcutta. It's like the building of a Dracula, because they were some relative of Raja or Nawab Wazir Ali Khan Sahab. So unki remnant of the family. We entered to the room. It was a hall. It was a big hall. We had found a lady, just exactly so thin that he is getting pasted on the bed. And the case was taken. There was severe bleeding. That time, the stylet remedy, so that was pushed, that was injected even at the area. Adrenaline, no really could have been able to stop the bleeding to the patient. So our teacher, our respected sir, he had taken a case and he prescribed the drug belladonna. Don't take it otherwise. We Bengali people call belladonna, not belladonna. That I have learned after coming here. So the common term, belladonna, and that is to be 6 potency, not 30. We came back. But there was a lot of doubt in my brain. We sat in NIH hostel because that time we were all, a miniature of India was there. We gone to the terrace, we talked a lot, and we came to conclude this drug is surely going to fail. Because we are thinking of bilifolia, we were thinking of cyanodactylum, we are thinking of this ficus religiosa, we are thinking of ficus indica. Because you probably understand my agony of that time, because at that time we have learned a lot, but we less know the applications. So that time we came to conclude in a discussion made by 10 or 15 of our friends, it was a short failure case. Anyway, after 3rd or 4th day, again I have seen that man. So I rushed to him. I was eager to know whether the patient is dead. And I asked him, what happened to your mom? With our utter surprise, he said, the mother is keeping well, the bleeding is reduced to 60%. So in a case of bleeding carcinoma cervix, the bleeding is less down to 60%. And the drug was belladonna, that is in 6 potency. So with all the busyness of the day, I rushed to our respected teacher. I asked her, why belladonna? So he just asked me to open the book, Boric's Mathematica. During that time, we used to carry Boric and Allen with us, a book in the bag. We just opened. He said, you read it. I read the female. I didn't have heard the symptom, though I was standing by his side. Again he said, we ask you read it. And there he said, you were the blind people who didn't have seen the original symptom written, that the bleeding was hot. You see in belladonna, the blood is hot. And that is the characteristic he found. And he palliated the condition. Try to understand the beauty of symptom. Now, if you ask me, sir, it is a keynote. No, it is not a keynote. Keynote is a generalization of symptom. You try to open the book, say, I want to put on example of rhododendron. You see, try to find how many times the word storm is written. So that means storm is a characteristic. So generalization of a particular symptom in the whole heart of the patient, in the whole heart of the drug. I'll coming shortly after. If you open, for example, Calimure, repeatedly used drug, you see white. It is all white. You see, the expectoration is white only. The tongue is white. Tongue is grayish and cringe. So the keynote stands for Calimure is white. Try to feel it. It is an entirely wrong understanding that keynote prescription means a single symptom. Never. Because if you read Allen's keynote, it is the excerpt of Herring's guiding symptom of for Metra Medica. If I get a chance in next some lecture, I will show you how Allen had taken the symptom. One part I will show you again. So this is the understanding. This is the incurable condition that what is to palliate it. And with the authenticity remaining being with homeopathy that we are prescribing 6 potency, हम potency लेके खेलते नहीं है. केन साहब बोल के गया था भाई incurable condition अगर है उस जगह पे पहले potency मत बढ़ाया, हमने जिंदगी पे नहीं बढ़ाए हैं. When it is life threatening. But if it is a cancer of bone, I may prescribe Rutatinib. But if it is a cancer of this top part where there is every risk of the life of the patient, obviously we will not play with the higher potencies. Come back to the third point. How much the symptom is important. For example, the hemoptysis in mitral stenosis and mitral regurgitation. Now, the physician is to study. Here the question of knowledge of disease is coming. That in case of mitral stenosis, if the person produces hemoptysis, so it is an early symptom. It is only due to backward pressure that had gone to the lung. But in case of mitral regurgitation, this is the outcome of a state of probably congestive cardiac failure is now gradually coming. This knowledge is essential today. Because when the patient comes, they read all the thing from Google Auntie. Because he is suffering, he is concerned, he is paying you. So quite naturally, he has got every authority to know, Dr. Sahab, mere saath kya hua. And for example, we the people hold the CT scan report and sometimes tell the problem is here unknowingly. The patient tells, no, doctor was telling the problem is there. But don't do like this because the outer word is too much equipped. So being a homeopath, I feel that I should be equipped more than that. Now the complication of the case, very important thing, regular monitoring. Say in case of diabetes mellitus, it is mandatory that you should monitor lipid profile and serum creatinine. The patient is getting less. Fasting and post-meal blood sugar means nothing. Even many a times, HbA1c also does not give you the clear-cut view of that. We have to know that a person when taking this Altroxin, and you are prescribing some homeopathic drug because Hahnemann kaisa bole the, he wanted the unadulterated picture of the disease. Now, sir, adulteration is there. We really cannot come out from that. Because you cannot stop steroids. Initially, you cannot stop antihypertensives. So what we get? We get the conjoint malady. The organ teacher must understand what Hahnemann said. So there is no option really. Keep the patient without medicine. Keep the patient. Or try to find the obvious cause that is written in the case-taking part. Second thing, what I feel very important, the meaning of the investigation. SGOT, SGPT, what does it mean actually? Whether SGOT and SGPT is only for liver disease, whether this is for liver, or whether they are the protein of muscles, or whether in case of cardiac or myocardial infarction, does SGOT, SGPT increases? We have to broaden our view. Because the patient to us will either come at the beginning or they will come at the end. At that time, they will come with a big file of several reports. Third issue, what I am treating, the complication or the disease, or both. This is a very important thing. A person diabetic came with a kidney failure, what to treat now? or whether your generalized, what I should say, the constitutional medicine will take care of this. Okay, but when the body vitality is not that much that it can react in a proper term, then what you will do? Because organopathic prescription is required to palliate this condition. Read again the last chapter of Kent, incurable diseases. And here we have to brush up our idea that only cancer is not incurable. Incurable diseases are thousands. For example, osteoarthritis knee is incurable by definition. For example, person suffering with emphysema by definition is incurable because the elastic recoiling ability of the lung is lost. It is a permanent dilatation. Dilatation is incurable. The practice of medicine teaches us. But still, we can do miracle and we do everything. So that knowledge is highly important. This is the applied. This thing is to be applied in practice. Management, remedial. Okay, with drugs, underuse. जैसा मैं बोल रहा था कि what about the eltroxin, what about thyronum, what about any degree of steroid, what about, for example, HCQ, what about, because these are the forming and used drug for a pretty long time. What to do? Then non-remedial, what about the diet, what about physiotherapy, what about psychotherapy? Because it is a requirement nowadays. Psychotherapy is turning to be a very important aspect to enchant and to boost the patient. Or prevention of taking some food beverages like this. But here, the knowledge of the disease is getting completed and it is not at all an easy job. So two aspects, as I've just said. The level of the similarity, drug in the books and diseases in the hand. Diseases in the hand are open. It is naked. Because you know the symptom. Because you know everything. The patient have come with lot of investigation. But the problem is, I have to understand the drug in the books. Now, how to find the drug in the book? Then we have to understand the material. And here the real problem begins, sir. Because our Materia Medica is not written in medical terms. It is descriptive, poetic, story-like, sometimes full with metaphors. Upamas jisko bolte hain. It is descriptive. Adopted for the this. এখন এটা পড়কে देखिए एलन पे बोल देता young girls with plethoric habit. हमने इतने जमाना से प्लेथोरा माने एक्सेस पढ़े, अभी एक्सेस हैबिट बोले तो क्या है? We have to understand that. It is not only understanding the meaning of the symptom. This is reading between two lines. How the patient will express the idea कि डॉक्टर साहब कल ड्रॉप ऑफ कोल्ड एयर में एक्सपोजर हो गया था तुम्हारे पास है. So this is next to impossible. It is descriptive. It is poetic. This is not poem I am telling. The description is something metaphorous, as I have said. The sepia is kind, a river. What was so much of water now dried. अब क्या बोलेंगे? ये मेटाफोर हो गई. यानी कि बहता नदी का धार अचानक स्तब्ध हो चुका है. और हमको सेपिया मुहाशे समझना. Apart from medicine, वो छोड़ दीजिए जितना भी मेडिसिन हमारा हाथ पे है. Because Hahnemann description के अंदर मेडिसिन का नाम और निशान है. Sorry, डिजीज का इतना अंडरस्टैंडिंग था ही नहीं. वो करेंगे क्या बेचा? आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जब हेरिंग आने लगे, केंट आने लगे, the clinical Materia Medica वाले आने लगे, so they had tried to incorporate the idea. Okay, Baba. So this is the clinical Materia Medica. Otherwise, what is our Materia Medica? Because when we tell the story of Materia Medica, we are happy to know who wrote the picture, Materia Medica picture type. So the student says, yes, it is Margaret Tyler, yes, it is Kent. Neither I study. The description of sepia is entirely different between these two authors, though they are too much close with each other. The washerwoman is actually the washing day mother as described by Margaret Tyler. वो इंग्लैंड पे कंट्री साइड पे रहते थे तो क्वाइट नेचुरली खेरे पारी के मानुष दिखा है केन की डिस्क्रिप्शन पे चोर लाइकोपोडियम लुटेरा सल्फर आपको नहीं दिखेगा कारण वो जो एरिया पे रहते थे जहां पे वो पेशेंट आने की संभावना थोड़ी कम थी एंड इन्होंने कोई बनी बना मैथमेटिका नहीं लिखा था जो देखे वो लिखे शो होम्योपैथी अगर मेरे जैसा आदमी लिख डालता तो बहुत कुछ हो जाता था apart from medicine it is taking reference from psychology society politics poems novel movies you read Philip Mbeli homeopathic psychology Catherine Coulter. It is on Philip Mbeli when it is type phosphorus. He directly taking the example of a great movie Sound of Music. One shade of phosphorus is like the girl. It's a novels. If you study George Fitzgerald, so when he talks about the drug tuberculinum, he speaks about the great novel or drama novel by Leo Tolstoy of Three Sisters. जो तीनों को लगता था कि अगर हम लोग मॉस्को छोड़ के किधर गए नहीं सॉरी गांव छोड़ के मॉस्को आ गए तो हमारा जिंदगी बदल जाएगा. Now he is describing cosmopolitanism with the utter dissatisfaction of tuberculonism, the unsatisfied poetic spirit of tuberculonism in that way. Now we have to read it. Now when we study George, so he writes Sepia is a career-oriented woman. Because of this, sexual gratification is not accomplished. So quite naturally, the pituitary ovarian axis is not working, the hormones are, and the shape is not getting created. So that was George's description. जो पियानो प्लेयर थी कैन की इग्निशिया जॉर्ज उसको नए तरह से बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा है. So the sexual deprivation causing the lady a Melis character, we have to be very carefully say, and because Materia Medica is coming from the life, it is not from the book. It is coming from the society, not from the written scriptures. You have to understand the changes. जॉर्ज जब लिखता है कि सेक्सुअल डिप्राइवेशन इज क्रिएटिंग सेपिया, आज तो मुझे ये नहीं लगता है, विदाउट criticizing anyone, with due respect to all these things, but the social changes regarding sexual deprivation, we have to think in other way. We have to explain CPI in an entirely different way, because that was not possible by George. We have to write our own mathematics. But this is the difficulty of understanding mathematics. I have to read a lot from different areas. Lots of construction difficulties. We know this thing. One is picture type, another is clinical type, another is keynote type, another is synoptic type. But all they are speaking on the drug. Because वहां पे बोगर की ब्यूटी आ जाती है. आप रोडोडेंड्रॉन खोल के देखो, पहली शब्द उसने लिखा स्टॉप. बस एक वर्ड पे स्तब्ध हो जाते. इसका मतलब कुछ भी रहे स्टॉर्म ढूंढिए. व्हाइट कुछ भी रहे तो जाके बाबा काली पे ढूंढ लीजिए. ट्रांसलेशन कंट्रोवर्सी. हॉल्स मीन्स गला भी होता है, छाती भी होता है. मैं ओरिजिनल जर्मन ट्रांसलेशन से इंग्लिश कन्वर्शन की बात कर रहा हूं. ऑथर्स फिलोसॉफिकल डिफरेंस मेक द स्टडी मोर डिफिकल्ट. And our power or our tool is living in this mathematics. So here we are going to explore how we should study Mathematica to find the disease. This is a very important aspect. So these symptoms are presented in that way. I'm skipping it. So number one is the direct description of the clinical presentation with or without the name of the disease. Many where this thing are done. Just read it. Retching and vomiting, loss of appetite, distended tympanic heart. The title is abdomen. This is from Borix Mathematics. No flatus emitted upward, downward, dripping about the novel. Stool liquid, frothy, profuse, brown with colic. Pad-like swelling of the intestine. Vomiting of fecal matter. Now see the symptoms. Abdomen is distended tympanic. Fat is not emitted upward or downward. Vomiting of fecal matter. Now we understood the disease. So that remedy can be used in such condition. And the condition is intestinal obstruction. And the drug is Raphanus sativus. तो यहाँ पे किधर भी डिजीज के नाम नहीं लिखी है, लेकिन डिजीज की सिम्टम दी हुई है. Now question आती है कि whether Raphanus acts better in intestinal obstruction or whether Raphanus acts better when there is no intestinal obstruction but the symptoms are prominent. My answer will be when there is no intestinal obstruction, because then these are all uncommon, peculiar. But when we are taking intestinal obstruction, so then they are all common symptoms. How beautifully they are writing and presenting their mathematica before us. It is one short example. कि जहां पे डिजीज के नामो निशान नहीं है, तुमको ढूंढना पड़ेगा भाई बीमारी क्या है. Now we'll go there. Second. Now let us read it. Strongly exaggerated reflexes and physical disturbances. Evidence by man making fun of each other's gait. वो ऐसा चलता कि उसकी चलना देख के हमको हंसी आती. They're writing paraplegia progressive, wasting, feeble and staggering gait. Now we are getting direct word from the medicine, staggering gait, paraplegia. Muscular twitching, cramps in clavicles, stiffness in muscles of legs, cannot walk backward without falling, tending to fall forward, walk stooped shoulder, legs feel numb, Wilson's disease, paralytic assistance, bagara, bagara, bagara. The drug is manganum acetate. इसके लिए मैंने ये चीज नहीं पढ़ा. ये मैंगनम कोई भी पढ़ ली, अब पढ़ते हो, यूज करते हो, मुझे मालूम है. But I am searching the name of the disease. Try to. So they are said strongly exaggerated reflexes. Now let us see the causes of strongly exaggerated reflexes from the book of practice of medicine. You know better than me. And there we are getting among this one word we are getting that I have written multiple sclerosis. क्यों लिखा है इसके पीछे राज? Now we are entering to the second phase because the time is less and I am there only to show some pathways of application of organ in practice. Now the second line, paraplegia progressive, wasting, feeble and staggering gait. Now what is the staggering gait? It is ataxia. Now the juniors, those who are practicing, obviously they are doing, but the juniors, my dear students, I am requesting you that don't use your YouTube channel for other things, seeing movies. Type ataxic gait. See what is that. Type staggering gait. See what is that. Because when the patient will come and I will see that may not be possible in a real life situation. We have to, हमको क्या बोलते हैं उसको, तीर लेकर तैयार होना है. हमारे हाथ में धनुष बाण बराबर रहनी चाहिए. जब शिकार दिखेंगे हम उसको मरेंगे. शिकार देखने के बाद बाण नहीं मिलती. Come. Causes of staggering gait. I'm not going in detail, but you see multiple sclerosis again. So though it is not written in anywhere on the pathogenesis of manganum aceticum, this is a remedy for multiple sclerosis. If this is the way I'm searching. I'm not telling कि manganum यही symptom पे दो. manganum दो जो patient को जरूरत है. मैंगनम आ सकता है. आप ये मत बोलो कि भाई ये छोटे रेमेडी है. वो छोटे रेमेडी इसलिए है कि उसका प्रूविंग उतना हद तक हुआ नहीं था. बहुत सारा टाइम पे ऑल द एक्सपीरियंस फिजिशियन विल टेल मी, विल सपोर्ट मी कि बहुत दिन झेलने के बाद कुछ तो भी एक सिम्टम के बेस पे चलो बाबा 5 दिन के लिए दवा दे दिया गया एंड देने का बाद देखा गया जिंदगी भर के लिए वो सिम्टम चले गया उसका. that remedy was constitutional to that guy. I didn't know the symptom because many occasions proving were not extended, even no proving were made. For example, Pisidia. क्लार्क में बहुत सारा ऐसे रेमेडी प्रूविंग कहाँ हुआ? अच्छा, एसटी घोष के आप ड्रग्स ऑफ इंदो सैंपल तो कहाँ प्रूविंग है उसका? ये तो आयुर्वेदा लोग यूज करते थे, उस ढंग से इसको यूज किया गया. What number of remedy have not proving? So muscular twitching, cramps in clavus, stiffness in the muscles of the legs, cannot walk backward without falling, tending to fall forward. And they have written one word, paralytic agitated. Now let us see. Just concentrate on the word. Cannot walk backward without falling. Tendency to fall forward. Walks on stooping forward. Paralytic agitance. आपको कुछ गेट दिख रहा है? ये आदमी चलता कैसे? ये वो कांध झुक के चलता कि जहां पे उसको लगता गिर जाएगा. इसको क्या बोलते? अपने पढ़े मेडिसिन पे इसको बोलते हैं फेस्टिनेटिंग गेट. And this gait occurs in paralytic agitance. Now I have to know what is paralytic agitance then. That was Parkinson's disease. So इस तरह से हमारे ड्रग के अंदर डिजीज छुपे हुए हैं and it is the integration. Because ये 4 टेबल पे 4 आदमी बैठ के चिल्ला के होम्योपैथी नहीं बनता. ये सबको एक टेबल पे आना पड़ता, कुछ तो एक डिसाइड करना पड़ता, गलती करना पड़ता, हजारों बार गलती करना पड़ता, उसके बाद अब सीख जाते. ये सुन के नहीं होता. संजीव ठाकुर की एक खाना बनाने की किताब पढ़ के आप मम्मी की तरह उतना अच्छा खाना बना नहीं सकते. इट इज अ प्रैक्टिस. देन होम्योपैथी बिकम्स एन आर्ट. Abstraction, no for generalization, to particularization. Now the cause and effect, the causality, हम उस विषय पे नहीं जाएंगे. Because organon के लोग हैं तो बोलता चालू करे तो उसको बोलते जाएंगे. Because that is a very essential thing. What to take and what not to take, how to deduce, how to come to the point. From general to particular, a journey always from particular to general. Now it is a single symptom or what? Look, bloody sweat. We know the drug. Everyone knows. Proteus does. Have you ever dipped on the word bloody sweat? When the sweat can be bloody? But blood comes from the sweat. So one of the cause is genetic. Another is the cause is what I call stress. But likhte researchers boli deta it occurs in DIC, disseminated intravascular coagulation syndrome. Now match Crotalus pathology with bleeding and the extent of bleeding कि जहां पे उसके पसीना से खून निकल रहा. Well, see the cases. Intense itching or no swelling or rash. In a single word, itching without eruption. This is written under drug Dolichos. And we have to search now. ये कौन सी condition है जहां पे itching without eruption होती है? That is in case of obstructive jaundice, in severe cases, in cancer, in malignancies. वो खुजाते रहते किंतु eruption नहीं रहता. अगर है Dolichos is palliative. अगर नहीं है Dolichos may be curative. This is the answer. Single sentence, but medical terminology let's review today. जैसा मैं थोड़ी पहले पढ़ा. There's a subcutaneous transplant around. A twitching, like a list, ague, malaria, phthisis, tuberculosis, pneumogastric nerve, vagus nerve, solar plexus, pruritus, itching, lupus, Brice disease is acute and chronic nephritis. That's a sucker example of the सामने करा कर सकते. Use नहीं होता, फिर still that is in our mathematics. Simple. Meaning boys, low spirited, lifeless, weak memories, lacking in boys go, testes undeveloped. Understood what is the drug? Now एक word है पीनिंग बॉयज. ये चीज होता क्या है अभी समझ में? दिस इज कॉल्ड पीन्स. तो जब प्रूविंग हुई थी मैंने सर ये बहुत किताबों से ढूंढा, हर जगह पे पीनिंग बॉयज लिखी हुई है. वो पीनिंग बॉयज के साथ क्या रिश्ता है और अब मेटालिकम की? किंतु जो भी किताब आप पढ़ेंगे, मैं सोर्स बुक की बात कर रहा हूं सर आपको, दिस इज हेरिंग जैड इज पिनिंग बॉयज, लैकिंग ऑफ बॉयज को, इसको पिन बोलते थे, ये स्टिक्स को। ये लोग क्या करते थे, वो पिन को लगाते थे। आजकल तो ऑटोमेटिक लग जाता, कोई भी गेम सेंटर पे आपको मिलेंगे। So it is indicated remedy for these pinning boys. Let boys go. Yes, though don't have the charm of a young boy. कब होती है ये चीज? उसके आंसर उसके पीछे लिख देता है वो। That the testis is underdeveloped. So psychological hormonal imbalance. Aurum is getting its own kind of formulation if you study in such a manner. हमेशा धृतराष्ट्र की तरह विलाप करने वाला नहीं है, ये भी हो सकता है। Direct references of disease, we know this thing. Cagel's contracture, Thompson's disease. कौन सी ड्रग पे लिखता है? वेरेट्रम वेरिडी। दो ही ड्रग है भाई हमारे अमेरिका बोरिक पे, बाकी जगह पे होगा। बोरिक पे फॉर स्यूडो हाइपरट्रोफिक मस्कुलर डिस्ट्रोफी ओनली दो ड्रग पे ये सिम्टम दी हुई है, एक वेरेट्रम वेरिडी एंड सेकंड इज फॉस्फोरस। Understand? Action of the remedy. They're writing oxygen carrier catalyst. Veratrum viridi. Again, no, sorry, it is vanadium. I'm sorry, it is wrongly printed. Rise of opsonic index in Diplococcus pneumonia. So this was for Veratrum viridi, and this first sentence oxygen carrier it was vanadium. They did it. And a sweet part जो बोल के मैं complete करना पड़ेगा because time is lacking. Time is okay. I was just failed to chase the time. That is my problem. It is not with the organizers. Now, whether miasmatic cleavage we can understand from Metromedica. Because miasm पढ़ना है तो Metromedica पढ़ना पड़ेगा, वो तो वहां से ढूंढनी है ना। पेशेंट का तो miasm ढूंढ के क्या करेंगे? हाँ समझ गया भाई, ये साइकोसिबिलिटी है, कौन सी ड्रग में है वो, तो मेरे को तो पुष्ट करना पड़ेगा, उसको पुख्त करना पड़ेगा। किसको? ये मेट्रोमेडिका को पहले, तब जाके किधर ना किधर मैच होगा एंड विल कीप डेफिनेटली मिरेकुलस रिजल्ट्स। So here in this drug, they have written continual loss of sleep, long-lasting anxiety, overexertion of body and mind from nursing the sick, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह। You see, क्या होता है उसको? Anguish from the loss of dearest friend. उसकी क्लोज की कोई दोस्त मर गया तो बेचारे को दुख होता है, इंडिफरेंस हो जाता है बेटा। वो काम करता, लॉन्ग लास्टिंग एंजाइटी पे काम करता कि उसका दोस्त बीमार है, लोग बीमार, कोई भी बोल देगा ये सोरिक फेज की रिएक्शन। आई एम रीडिंग द सेकंड पैरा ऑफ द सेकंड पैरा, एकदम पीछे पीछे। ग्रेट एंजाइटी अबाउट हिज डिजीज। पहले बीमारी किसकी थी? उसके दोस्त की थी, डियारेस्ट। अब किसकी बीमारी है? खुद की है। Constantly thinking of past troubles. मैंने लोगों के लिए क्या किया है, मुझे क्या मिला। कोई भी बोल देंगे इट इज psychotic phase reaction. Okay, so exterior is now getting introduced. वही ड्रग की एकदम लगे पड़ता तीसरे सेंटेंस उसमें लिखता है इरिटेबल, हेडस्ट्रॉन्ग, हेटफुल, विंडिक्टिव वगैरह वगैरह। कोई भी बोल देगा। देखो किस तरह से ब्यूटीफुली हमारा मेट्रोमेडिका राइटर्स मायाजम को सामने ला रहा है आपके। पहले सोरिक फेज, देन साइकोटिक फेज, एंड दिस इज द सिफिलिटिक फेज। We have taken it from Allen's Metromedica. The drug is acid nitricum. Open and see. So in this 5 minutes, I want to share a very small case. ये एक बच्चा है, इसका उम्र 18 साल था, हालांकि वो 10 साल की दिखता है। मैं इतना रीडिंग नहीं करूंगा, मैं आपको ब्रीफली केस बोल देता हूं। ये बच्चे जब छोटे थे, 1.5 साल 1 साल उम्र में, उसको मेंदो ज्वर हुआ था, जैसे वेरी कॉमन टर्म स्पीक्स इन महाराष्ट्र की भाई ब्रेन फीवर हुआ था कुछ तो। और उसके बाद उसको झटका चालू हुआ। उसके मम्मी बोलते हैं बच्चे हॉस्पिटल पे गए थे एंड 30-40 दिन के बाद जब हम उसको लेके आए तो नरम हो गया था, जैसे मैदे की डो ऐसा हो। तो पेशेंट हमको मिले तो उसको 30 से 40 बार स्मॉल झटके आते थे और 5 से 20 झटका आता था। आई एम नॉट रीडिंग इट। घर पे देखभाल के लिए कोई नहीं था तो वो तकिया आप चिपका के रखते थे, बच्चे गिर ना जाए, बिकॉज ए वेजिटेटिव लाइफ। उसका स्पाइन टेढ़ा हो गया, जिसको हम बोलते हैं काइफोस्कोलियोसिस। कोई अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं है, कोई सिग्नल वो मम्मी को दे नहीं सकता। नो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, बिकॉज वो बोलता नहीं कुछ, उसको जो खिलाओ वो खाते हैं। आप वेजिटेबल समझते हो, आलू बटाटा की लिविंग जिंदगी, इट इज कॉल्ड वेजिटेबल। जिन्होंने मुन्ना भाई भी देश देखे, उसमें आनंद भाई की यह परिस्थिति। तो जो भी दो डिजीज तो समझ रहे, वन साइडेड डिजीज किसको बोलते हैं, ब्लॉक केस किसको, सिटी स्कैन ऑफ ब्रेन, इतने बड़े बड़े बातें बोलते। हमारे लिए ये विषय नहीं है सिटी स्कैन क्या, ब्रेन क्या बोल रहा है। हमारे लिए ये विषय है कि ये ब्लॉक केस को लेना चाहिए कि नहीं, बिकॉज इट इज अ होपलेस केस। आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते। माने आप बच्चे को 2 पैर पे खड़े करके दौड़ा नहीं सकते। 18 साल हो चुका है, अब तक उसको मोतीबिंदु आ गया, दैट इज कैटरेक्ट हो चुका। इनिशियल फेज की रिएक्शन अगर देखिए, जो मैं बोल रहा था, तो उसमें जो अटैक आती है, ये बोला जाता है आईज टर्न डाउनवर्ड, फ्रोथ इन माउथ, मिल डिसएग्रीज, साइनोपियम वाज गिवन। और आप भी समझ रहे हो, इसके ऊपर कुछ डिग नहीं किया गया। ठीक है भाई, इतने सिम्टम दे दो, देखते क्या। थोड़ा सा अटैक उसको कम। Itoja is coming from umbelliferi, and we know all the drugs of umbelliferi has got a kind of convergence. Characteristics are lacking, only this: obesity, attack ke pehle, hair perspiration of the scalp, milk, aggravation, stool hurt. When you reparterize with our utter charm, it was calcaria. मैं और इसका वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं देखा रहा, बिकॉज वी हैव गॉट नो टाइम। नहीं तो मैं सुना सकता था। इट इज ऑफ 1.5 मिनट, बाय 1.5 मिनट भी मेरे लिए कॉस्टली हो रही है अभी। सो द कन्वल्शन गेट डाउन टू नील इवन आफ्टर नॉट टेकिंग गार्डिंग। A major experience, incurability towards not curability, but at the least a sound structure. हाँ सर बोलो क्या करना है। तो ये सर आ गए मेरे को बोलने के लिए। I'm sorry, 4:30 बज गया। So thank you very much of your hearing. If this can give you some new light on your thought process, so practice could have been much better. I'm again thankful and grateful to the organizers, Anda sir, Ovani sir, and others for giving me a chance to talk before this August audience. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So now I would like to request my senior colleague, Dr. Hinala Madam, for further proceedings.
Thank you so much, Panda sir. Thank you. Dr. Roy sir, it was a brilliant presentation. The intensity and the passion with which you taught us today. As a teacher of Organon, I feel so obliged and so grateful to you that this was Organon, which I also understood in a different light. The third aphorism, which is considered to be the beginning of Organon and the index of Organon, and the entire Organon, which is based upon the third aphorism, was so precisely and so nicely explained by you. Sir, we have started with this series of webinars, but this is possible due to the prominent and dignitaries like you who spare time, and the teacher in you is always ready to teach the budding homeopaths. So your brilliance sharing with the budding homeopaths is a big privilege, and a big privilege not only for Parul University, but it is a privilege for the homeopathic fraternity at large. So, on behalf of all my colleagues, I am so very grateful to you, sir. And the correlation of Organon with Materia Medica and with the live cases, and how it is necessary, the auxiliary measures like psychotherapy, like physiotherapy, how it is necessary, and how it is necessary to know these methods to produce complete cure. You have explained it so nicely. So, sir, I'm really very thankful to you for this beautiful presentation. I also take this opportunity to thank our management, who is always there to motivate us and to encourage us. I also thank our core team, that is the three principals of the three homeopathic colleges of Parul University. I thank the technical team, Mr. Brajesh Bhai and Mr. Jiten, who are always there that the flawless webinars continue. So, and finally, I thank all the viewers who are always there to encourage us and to do more and more and to become better and better every day. Once again, thanks, Dr. Roy, sir, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Yes.